And that's how Shinichi Kanu, a high schooler, got his job interview after correctly answering 200 questions in under 10 minutes, all because his childhood friend rejected him. Why, you ask? Well, because he's an otaku. His employer loves him and offers him a drink before talking about the details. However, Shinichi falls unconscious and wakes up in a different world. Iwo, where's my truck? Sam. He finds himself in a room with a maid girl named Musil Foreign. He freaks out at how cute she looks. On the other end, she also freaks out because she doesn't understand what he's saying. She gives him a ring, and they finally can understand each other. Suddenly, another girl enters the room and introduces herself as his guard, Minori Kaganu. Shinichi checks the bouncing and asks how big her heart is. She tells him that he's in the Morimu city of the Holy Elden Empire, a realm filled with fantasy creatures like dragons and elves. Smells like a harem realm. Minori introduces Shinichi to Jinzubiru Madoba. He's the same guy who took Shinichi's job interview. Madoba explains the whole situation. A year ago, a hole was found near Fuji Mountain. Experts called it a hyper-dimensional passageway, as it led to another realm. Japan's government established an alliance with the Elden Empire, and Shinichi's job is to convert everyone from the New World to the otaku religion. Are they still hiring? Back to it, the Elden Empire has dragons and elves, but they lack entertainment. Like, a lot. In his room, Shinichi finds out that his maid is a half-elf. She starts to freak out as soon as he discovers, but he's like, hell yeah. Then he meets his other servant, a dragon named Brooke Darwin. Wait, where's my dream harem? After breakfast, Minori takes Shinichi to meet the Supreme Ruler, just to get punched by the Supreme Ruler as he gets excited that she's a little girl. Our little girl is actually a 16-year-old adult who's now all mad and wants to execute him. Luckily, he's saved by Madoba, who explains the lowly concept is cute. The young ruler's name is Petrol Khan. She's assisted by her advisor, Zakar, and her noble knight, Gallius and cultivar Gallius. Gallius suspects Shinichi's talent, triggering Shinichi, and he mouths back at Gallius. Fortunately, Petrolka likes the drama, accepts Shinichi's service to provide entertainment to the Empire. We can call her the drama queen. There's a huge cultural difference between this world and Japan. People must wear a special ring that enables them to understand other languages. Shinichi's next task is to select the best otaku products to import into this realm. During the day, Shinichi looks for the best manga collection to import. At night, he teaches Musil some Japanese. I swear it's only it. Within a few days, Shinichi builds a room filled with comics and DVDs. Petralka visits and orders Shinichi to read the manga because she can't read or speak Japanese. Later, he finds out that the Elden's Empire culture is based on discrimination, where royals get access to honor and facilities, but the poor are treated like slaves. Only rich people know how to read, and most children grow up to become soldiers or farmers. Sometime later, Petralka starts bullying Musil. Shinichi steps in and stops her and teaches her some Japanese manners. Petrolka accepts the teachings but asks him to teach her to write and read Japanese. This lowly drama queen is such a brat. China, she makes his decision to build a school where both royal and low-status kids can study. Minori tries to warn Shinichi not to get too involved in this world, but Shinichi likes this new life and wants to establish some equality in this realm. Meanwhile, Petralka has started to feel attracted to Shinichi's unique personality. However, she hates his kindness towards Musil. Jealousy level over 8,000. With the help of royal troops, the school is completed within just 20 days. Unfortunately, some intruders break in and capture Shinichi. And others. The intruders are from a minority group. They have a powerful magical instrument that can destroy the whole school. They believe that China is trying to destroy their history and culture. They want to stop this by killing Shinichi and the supreme ruler who allowed this. However, Shinichi has an escape plan. He makes an excuse to take him to the toilet when his phone suddenly starts ringing. How does this even work? Like, let me pee before I get killed. The intruders are unaware of mobile phones. They get scared and move back. In the meantime, Minori breaks herself free and attacks the intruders. Musil uses her magic powers to defeat the intruders. However, one of the intruders throws a dagger at Petralka. Musil steps in front of her and takes the blow. Petrolka can't believe that Musil saved her after being mistreated. Petrolka uses her best efforts to save Musil's life. All planned, Musil activates her spell card Change of Heart. Finally out of danger, Musil awakens and slowly recovers. It's been a month since the school was established, where all races learn together. Shinichi and Minori do their best as teachers as they teach the basic terms and phrases used in manga and anime. However, she doesn't want to wipe away the realm's culture with his own. As he still isn't aware of Japan's government's true intentions towards this project. A humanoid is detected near the manor where Shinichi lives. It turns out to be a half-wolf named Elvia Hanneman. Another one, Get Ice, Guide, and Build a Harem, Easy Life. She introduces herself as an artist, but Minori suspects Albia to be a spy and wants to steal information. China, she believes in the opposite and doesn't want Albia to suffer. Therefore, he convinces Petrolka to let Albia be Shinichi's personal artist, which may help him in spreading the otaku culture. China, she is finally getting used to his new life, living the dream life with other races, even though he lacks his harem. At the same time, he's spreading the otaku ways. China, she is having dinner when he realizes Albia hasn't joined in. When he goes to invite Albia, Shinichi finds her drawing creepy sketches with weird expressions. He starts to think if she's really a spy or not. Moreover, her behavior is getting suspicious day by day, but he's still happy because everyone is becoming an otaku, and the relationship between different races has improved. Until one day, he thinks about returning. At the same time, he wants to take his elf pet. In the middle of the night, Shinichi wakes up with Albia in his bed. He finds out that she wants information, a genetic one, if you get what I'm saying. The number of students increases every day, but with disputes between the elves and the dwarfs, peace is a faraway dream. Shinichi suggests a friendly soccer match between the elves and dwarfs, which he thinks will help them develop favorable relations. Both teams use their magical powers while playing soccer, but the game quickly turns into war instead of being a match. However, the audience notices Petralka and Musil playing soccer in a friendly way, which makes the elves and dwarfs treat each other in a friendlier way, proving that Shinichi is decreasing discrimination. But there's a problem. Madoba doesn't have enough knowledge about anime, so he can't bring the exact books and DVDs that Shinichi orders. Must be hard for a Japanese person to read a list written in Japanese. Shinichi requests a visit to Japan so he can shop by himself. He also asks if he can bring Musil, but Madoba says that she cannot breathe and will die on Earth just to keep the location of the passageway a secret. Shinichi is taken aback. While he's asleep, the next morning, Shinichi opens his eyes in his bedroom in Japan. Suddenly, he notices the extra bag with him, just to find Musil hiding inside the bag. Surprisingly, she can breathe comfortably. Madoba lied to him. China, she helps Musil hide her ears with a cap because he's a fake otaku who totally forgot about cosplay, and takes her to visit the whole city. Everything she sees fascinates her. Ordinary things like buses, trains, and vending machines feel special to Musil as she has only seen them in the manga. China, she brought. The next morning, Shinichi opens his eyes back in the Eldent Empire. He had forgotten the actual purpose of visiting Japan. The supreme ruler has suddenly run away, and everyone is looking for her around the kingdom. China, she finds her sleeping in the storeroom. The next day, she shuts herself in the room and doesn't want to contact anyone. Gallius tells Shinichi that Petrolka became the ruler at a young age, all because her parents were killed by Gallius's parents. This tragedy has an effect on Petrolka's mental health. Top 10 cliché family betrayals. China, she takes the responsibility of bringing back Petrolka. But instead of forcing her to come out, Shinichi lets Petrolka enjoy her alone time, just like he did in the past, playing video games and reading manga. China, she also shares his own reason for getting isolated. He just wanted to hide away from everyone. It felt good and comforting at the start, but over time, the room started to feel heavier as he can never run from the responsibilities he's bound to. Petroka understands him and gets back to her normal routine. The next morning, Musil has joined school as a teacher. Madoba suggests taking a vacation break. During this break, Shinichi wants to visit the beach with all of his friends. Can you really have a harem without a beach episode? Musil, Minori, and Elbia also join this trip. They have a lot of fun playing in the water and lying down under the sun. Shinichi is having lunch with the girls when they get interrupted by one of their elf students, Loic, who tells that Romilda was kidnapped. These two had come together to see their sensei Minori at the beach but were attacked by someone hiding in a bush. Minori takes the responsibility to get back Ramda, and others willingly join her too. While searching through the forest, Elbia finds several men wearing the ghillie suit. She takes down a few men while others try to escape. Finally, Minori catches them and asks them to reveal their identity. They turn out to be soldiers from the Japanese defense team who came here to protect them. But their main goal is to spy on the girls, like true cultured men. When they get back, Mitova tells them that some footage has been leaked to Japan. The government is worried about their secret getting revealed. Suddenly, Shinichi thinks of an excellent plan to handle the situation. He decides to shoot a fantasy short movie in the Eldent Empire, and that the released footage was actually part of this short film. The shooting starts. Petrolka is the main character, as Shinichi wants to boost her self-confidence and let her show her real self to the fullest. Because, she lacks in what really matters. Minori is informed about a dragon they were looking for a long time. Minori takes a dragon tamer named Luna with her and captures the dragon. On the next day, they decide to use a fake dragon for a scene, but accidentally the real dragon breaks its cage and joins the shooting set. It's dangerous, but now they don't need special effects. The short film is released in both the Elden Empire and in Japan, solving the leaked footage problem and getting some profit at the same time. The otaku religion quickly becomes popular. People started doing cosplays and writing light novels. With such progress, the current stock of manga is running out. Or over. This reading habit is becoming an addiction. Eldentions ignore their work and health to read more comics. Shinichi questions why there's a lack of manga and anime stock, just to find out that it was the actual plan of Japan's government. Another top 10 Japanese betrayals. They wanted to make the Elden Empire obsessed with otaku culture so they could be forced to fulfill the desires of Japan's government in exchange for content. It was impossible to invade this magical empire using military or economy. Therefore, Japan decided to invade with otaku culture. China, she didn't even realize that he had become the cultural invasion vanguard. Mitobo warns Shinichi that he can get killed if he tries to mess with the government's plans. That's why he was the chosen one, because people won't notice if he disappears. Shinichi has gone into a deep trauma. Minori tries to convince him that Japan just wants to exchange anime products for rare resources. But Shinichi is not willing to accept himself getting used like this. He shuts himself once again because he can't deal with the situation anymore. Like, how many times can this guy get depressed in one episode? But Muzo believes that he isn't an invader, as his otaku culture has brought many positive changes, even reduced race discrimination at a high rate. These are the words Shinichi needed. Yes, she's a keeper. The next day, Shinichi goes to meet the supreme ruler. He proposes the idea that the Elden Empire has a lot of talented youngsters, so they can produce their own manga and they don't have to rely on Japan's government. However, Madoba doesn't like the idea as it's destroying the whole government plan. During that night, Japanese soldiers try to assassinate Shinichi. Do you want to wonder why? Fortunately, Shinichi had already taken precautionary measures. The incident is reported to the supreme ruler, and she calls Madoba. However, Madoba doesn't take the responsibility and says he wasn't aware of it. After these attacks, peace settles in the Elden Empire for a while. For the past few days, the supplies from Japan have been quite accurate. They even included some expensive limited edition manga. Suddenly, one day, the Bomb Kingdom is reported to attack the Elden Palace. A cloud of smoke is seen coming from the school side. China, she remembers he left the limited edition of his favorite manga in school. He starts rushing to save it, while Muzo and Elvia follow him. He reaches the school just to find that Japan planned to get rid of him. The soldiers knock him out and leave him to die in the burning school building. Muzo finds Shinichi and surrounds him with a magical protection barrier. He gave her a reason to live, so Muzo can never imagine losing him. Elves are the best way for material, bro. Minori rebels against the Japanese defense force and comes over to save Shinichi. She brings him out in time, managing to save his life. After recovering, Shinichi requests Madoba to let him talk to the superior government officers. The officer suggests Shinichi return back, but Shinichi knows that the government must have planned his death already. Meanwhile, with the help of her special owls, Patroka eavesdrops on this conversation. She appears by herself and warns them she will cancel the agreement. The Japanese government is now forced to agree to her terms. Finally, Shinichi is free and can work in freedom with his favorite people around. Japan has cut down the budget, but they let Shinichi continue his job because it's profitable. Patroka can make sure of his safety by declaring Shinichi an important person to herself. He mistakes it for protection and flirts back. The school is rebuilt, and Shinichi can continue his classes. All the efforts she did in his love for manga and anime are finally paying off. He's like the Japanese Pope, spreading the otaku religion. Watch this next